Welcome to the Coaching Life Podcast. How's it going, Coach?
Well, going well.
Good.
Ready?
Good.
Test.
I thought you were saying,
Check.
hope everyone can hear me
Yes.
okay.
We're going to make sure we turn your volume up
Someone
really
didn't.
loud this week.
Someone didn't tell me I wasn't going to be part of the podcast last week. I found that out later.
Man,
There's only one person bothered by it in the whole world, and that's Coach Stewart.
it's frustrating.
Coach.
Such a good conversation with Brennan.
Coach, you should have known.
Screwed it up.
You should have known that you had to fix something on the microphone, man.
Man, every week I come in and we plug in and I double check every week that we have the input correct and the output correct. The output's not the big of a deal, and it's always automatic. Like when you plug in, it automatically selects the Rodecaster Pro, which is our soundboard that we use for podcasting. And last week, I think we were talking while I was setting up. I wasn't ready. We weren't ready. It was a busy week. Homecoming week was pretty busy.
Yeah.
And I must have overlooked it and didn't. And we hit record and started, and the whole time we were recording. And the only microphone in this room that was picking up voices was this computer right here in front of me. And that's why my voice was really loud. Brennan's was medium. Yours was non-existent. You sounded like this.
That's what I heard. And everyone said it was one of their more enjoyable podcasts.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
I did talk to Brennan. Yeah, I did talk to Brennan. He sent it to his family. His family enjoyed it. That's good. But I did give him the opportunity. I said, he works out here. Like he's working right now.
Yeah.
And I said, if one can come in another time and it'd be fairly easy to schedule you, it'd be you. And he said, oh yeah, let's do it. He said, that way we can go into something a little bit different, and what he's doing now a little bit maybe. And so.
Yeah. No. It's an odd feeling when you have that, because it's even different. If you're working in an Excel sheet or you're doing something on a computer and you lose it, it's gut wrenching. But it's just like, well, I'll just do it again. But when you have conversations like this, and we have, especially with any of our issues seem to happen when we have.
I know.
And
Nathan
it's always
Rourke.
Yes. And it's always to recapture that aura.
Because it was an option, right? And he's like, yeah, I'll do it again. But even he said, it's just not going to be the same though.
Right.
Because the first time he tells us something and we're hearing it for the first time, it's like, oh yeah, the response is,
Yeah.
Now it's like we got to fake it.
We'd have to fake it. Yeah. So, it's no big deal.
Yeah.
It worked out all right. So, we're back again.
Just the two of us.
Just the two of us.
Yep.
Couldn't get another guest on. He refused.
Did we invite someone?
No, we didn't.
I got a couple more.
Kind of did, but I guess he's busy. Do you? Yeah.
Yeah.
Have some more.
Well, I got a student sitting out there right now who's in my class this semester, and I just talked to him on my way in the doors here, and said, "Hey, we're getting ready to do an episode." I said, "Why don't we get you in here sometime?" He's an MMA fighter.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, you mentioned that. That'd be really cool.
Yeah.
Be a different conversation. Probably
It'd be fun.
learn some things we didn't know, and people out there give them some neat little perspective. But so they was up for it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, good.
Yeah. Everybody wants to be on.
Maybe after that I can bring one of my professional wrestling friends in.
Ooh. Or we can do it at the same time.
Yeah, we probably not. Better do that. Actually, I have a professional wrestling friend. Who's
So do I.
also an MMA fighter.
Oh, not also.
Has fought mixed
gotcha.
martial arts.
Gotcha.
Yes. So
Yeah. Local professional wrestler.
he's actually
That's a
retired.
big thing in our
He's
area.
retired now. We went to Southeastern last night to watch the Eastern Lady Eagles volleyball.
It's wrestling, by the way.
It's wrestling. The marquee is wrestling when you read it on a sign, because as we're driving
But I have to
through,
differentiate.
do you know where the
between
shoemaker?
wrestling
No.
here at Ohio University, being on the wrestling team versus wrestling.
Listen, the sign said, do you know where the Shoemaker Center is in Chillicothe? Neither do I.
I should.
I don't know what that is. But the sign said "Big Time Wrestling."
Huh.
Shoemaker Center,
Is it
October
downtown?
26th.
Yeah.
So I got pretty amped up to see that. I didn't know they were doing that. But the New Haven Community Center has...
You saw that at the Southeastern, at the Eastern Eagles volleyball game?
Yeah, you know how the school sits over on the left? And
It's a
there's
nice
a
school.
sign there. It is a nice school, really nice school.
And
nice
who won
place.
last night?
Eastern won. Yep.
Eastern,
won.
going up against
3 sets to 1.
So they in the district semifinal,
Trimble.
they beat a TVC Hawking school,
Mm-hmm.
and they're going to be advancing to the district championship game, playing against
Southern.
a TVC Hawking
Yeah.
rival.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
It is. Yeah, it's really neat. Should be a good game too. So
Yeah,
I know they split during the season.
they did.
So be interesting. Saturday at 2:30, I think is when they're playing. 2 o'clock, 2:30.
Yeah, I
something
saw
like
it was Saturday. Couldn't go last night, and I can't go Saturday.
that. Yeah. Well, maybe the Megs baseball coach will be there. Supporting.
Represent.
I
Do
told.
you wear your Eastern hat?
I don't have an Eastern hat. I do have an Eastern Eagles baseball shirt though. That
It's a misprint.
I actually thought, it was a misprint. I actually thought about wearing it today. But I'm like, nah, I can't let
Ooh,
people
today.
see in that.
Man, I would have posted that all over the place.
I haven't. I'm gonna have to turn that into a work shirt.
Cut off. You wear cutoffs when you're out mowing the grass?
No, look at.
Yes.
No, I don't wear cutoffs at all. What are we talking about today?
Yes. Oh,
we
chit-chat.
We're
Oops,
chit chatting here. We lost people
Yeah.
already. We're going to talk about. I heard two things.
At the game last night?
No, not at the
Oh.
game. Throughout last season at Megs Baseball, two predominant statements came out, and that is, and you hear
From your dugout?
from our dugout, and you hear these like they're common
Sure.
things.
Yeah,
that
it's
are
not
heard.
just your dugout.
They should know that. We practice that. They should know that. We practice that.
And we practiced that.
And
Therefore, the responsibility for that mistake is not on
right.
our shoulders. Our being coaches,
Yes.
right?
And that's and I think I can't remember the exact words, but my
practiced
response was, fellas, regardless of what we say, we didn't practice it enough.
Yeah.
If we're saying those types of things during a game, and you've heard those come out again. A coach might come out on the field, out on the court or whatever, and say, we practice this. You guys know this.
And sometimes, if we're honest, coaches, we do it loud enough so that everybody can hear.
Right.
So that we make sure that the people in the stands know that, hey, this isn't my fault.
Yeah.
We practice that. It always gets me when a coach comes in after a base runner gets thrown out or something, or like a kid fails to tag up on a fly ball from third, and your third base coach comes in and says, "I had just told him."
Yeah.
It's like, or like your first base coach is like I told him to get back. It's like it's not you. It's not about you.
Yeah.
I mean, it really isn't. I mean,
Yeah, it's interesting stuff.
Yeah.
But so my approach has always been that's on me.
yeah,
You know,
we didn't practice it enough.
We didn't practice enough.
Yeah.
Because evidently we're not executing.
Yeah.
What we know and what we practice. So you have to practice it until you're able to execute. So thought it'd be neat today to talk about some of those things. Baseball specific. I'm sure this is it's vast when if you talk at all
we
sports.
might be able
there's
to
probably
think of some others.
maybe.
I mean, we're not the experts in those other sports. Heck, we're not experts in baseball either. We just pretend to be.
Yeah,
But I think we.
I mean,
we
I've
could probably
stolen
come up with
a lot of
couple
things
football.
from a lot of
enough
baseball
football,
experts.
We can.
Football?
We watch enough football. We can come up with a couple examples. I think
All right, I'm gonna be able to do
of
that.
things that, like, as you're watching the Browns, you're like, they should know that. Right. As you're watching the Cowboys, they should know how to tackle. Surely they practice tackling.
I don't know if we do.
I don't know.
practice
Yeah,
that
that's a good
football
question.
anymore.
We don't hit and practice.
No,
much anymore.
I know. The Megs baseball field's right next to the football field, so when I'm working in my remote office at the baseball field, I have the opportunity to peek over there sometimes at the football field. So I know that they do have tackling drills, do different things.
Oh, yeah.
From week to week, but
Yeah, what they call it, Oklahoma type.
I don't think they do the Oklahoma drill.
Is it?
Maybe even has that been?
Oh no, Oklahoma's one where
They
I
just
don't
run
know.
into each other.
There's a
Like,
certain
get
kind
up
of
or run
tackling
around?
though where you're. It's not, well, I don't know. It's more rugby style.
See, we're
to
not
the-
experts.
Yeah, we're definitely not. So maybe they practice it, maybe they don't. So let me make sure I get this straight. So before we jump in the conversation, so basically we're going to talk about areas where coaches will assume that our kids, our players, should know something that they obviously don't know because they screw it up in the game, or they have screwed it up more than once.
Yep.
And our response is, man, they should know. They should know that by now, or we've practiced that. Why are we still messing it up, right?
Yep.
And so, yeah, that is.
And primarily, I would say because the answer to the practice question is you just need to practice it more.
Yeah.
But it's they should know that.
Well, and even then, you got people who will say, we still shouldn't have to work on this. We shouldn't still be working on this.
Yeah, and that's fallacy is what that is.
Yeah.
Because you got to work on everything.
Yeah.
Every aspect of the game that you want to be executed, you need to work on.
Yeah.
That's just all there is to it.
For sure.
And some are more important than others. Some are easier than others. And
some are more fun to work on than
some
others.
are more
some
fun,
things
for
are
sure.
boring that
Yes.
need to be worked on.
Yes, absolutely. And I would say that this is an encouragement or a reason that you want to have a good relationship with your youth coaches.
Yeah.
So that you can
Sure.
you see these things happening. Definitely, at the junior high level, but even before then,
Well,
just to you have that they listen. This is what I'm seeing.
Yeah.
At our high school level, our guys aren't able to do this when they get here, and I would like them to be able to. And then
Rather than putting blame on them in the moment when the kid messes up. I mean, that's really what you're doing, right?
Sure,
They should know that by now. Well, who should have told them by now?
Right.
Well, the youth coaches.
Right.
But and that's sometimes what can happen is you can alienate yourself in that situation where your youth coaches might say, "Well, it's not our fault. We did teach it to them. Maybe maybe you're not practicing enough up there." And,
Yeah, sure.
You
ultimately-
don't want that kind of relationship, where you're blaming somebody else for things that the kids.
Yep,
aren't-
and ultimately
aren't
it falls on the head coach's shoulders
Under-
to make sure that happens.
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yep. Got an example?
I knew you were going to throw it to me there. Okay. Well, baseball, it's the easiest one for us. So baseball is a game of situations, lots of them. They're infinite.
Yeah, really they are.
Yeah.
I mean, you could take any situation and say we should try
Yeah.
to practice.
Yeah.
that.
But it's a game of awareness also, like and little things. And so part of those little things is thinking through the situation before it happened. Like the higher probability things that could happen, on this next pitch. And so I would say one of the things that I know I have said that should never happen is when a player gets thrown out because he didn't know how many outs there were, right? Maybe there's one out and he runs on a fly ball, or maybe there's 2 outs and he doesn't run from second base on a questionable low line drive, and therefore he can't score because it hit the ground, but he's at third base by the time the ball's being relayed in. And I am like, that should never happen. Well, what am I saying there? You didn't know how many outs there were before the ball was hit. So how can I make that better?
Yeah.
I think that's an example I would. That
Yeah.
comes to mind.
So I guess what you're saying is they weren't thinking about it. It was so in my mind there's a checklist that you go through as a base runner, as a
In your
fielder.
mind.
Yeah. What am I supposed to be thinking about? What and like you said, what are
What do I do as a coach?
a baseball game? You can go and you can see something you've never seen before. So
Yeah.
there may be things that you're just not going to be prepared for. There will be things that you're not prepared for, but when you're talking about these things that happen that aggravate us the most because we think we should have them, that's what you got to do. You say, what do I need to do as a coach? Oh, as a checklist.
Because again, it comes back to us.
Yeah.
If that happened, I mean, granted, I mean, there are times when maybe you do rep this a lot and you do remind the player before every pitch. I actually try to do that.
Yeah,
and it still happens, right?
How could you practice it? You can practice
Oh,
it.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Use your scoreboard in practice.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Scoreboard, right.
Put situations up there.
Yep.
Before, do some situational things with a fungo and tell all your base runners and your fielders, we're going to look at the scoreboard. You have to have a scoreboard operator. Look at the scoreboard. Notice the score, the innings, the outs.
Yep. Very good. Very good.
And then think about how we're going to respond, and then hit a situation, and then evaluate it. I think that's one way to handle that.
Yeah, and you mentioned tagging up. So, tagging up's always it's always that thing that happens for whatever reason. You have a kid that just isn't on the bag when the ball is hitting the air. We had that happen.
Because they assume it's going to be down.
Yeah.
And sometimes a kid in the outfield makes a great play, and you're like, oh.
There's no reason not to assume it.
Right.
Right. We had that happen in a major league game.
Yes.
Postseason game.
Yes.
And he got thrown out the
Yeah.
play because of it. Actually ended up,
It
being a double
was
play,
a
didn't it?
bizarre play. Yes,
Yeah.
it was a double play because, and it wasn't a tradition. It wasn't a catch. It was not a catch, but
he thought it was.
The runner at third base thought it was. But even still, like, how do you get? Like, even if you thought it was a catch, you're going as soon as the ball hits the glove.
Because he didn't tag up.
Yeah, he was halfway down the line because he thought it was going to be up against the wall or a home run.
And he's at third base.
Yeah.
There's no reason for it.
That is the reason for that play played out the way it did.
You tag up there until you see him, you think he makes the catch.
Yeah, I literally tell our kids that if you see a ball off the bat and you are 99% sure it's going to the Shade River because the kid hit a farthest ball you've ever seen in your
You
life.
have nothing else to do but stand on the base.
Stand there on the base until you are sure
Yeah.
that it hit the ground on the other side of the fence, and then you go.
Yeah.
Because you're going to score easily regardless.
Right.
But the only way you can score, if Superman out there in right field, or, in left field, jumps up and catches it,
Right.
is you got to tag up. And so there's no reason to be down the line at all.
But, I would say this too, like we're sitting here talking about it. We need to rep it.
Yes.
Because it's a different situation. It's a different feel. It's a different thought process when you're in the moment.
The fast-paced moment of the game.
Yes. So we need to rep that situation. We need to rep tag. Runner at second base. Ground ball back to the pitcher.
Yeah.
What's
Yeah.
that runner doing? Runner second base, ground ball into the 5.5. What's the runner going to do there? What decision is he going to make? Is he going to head to third?
Ground ball hit right at you. You're in a leadoff, right?
Yeah, right.
Which
way you gonna go?
What kind
Right.
of? A lot of that depends on the speed of the ball coming. If it's right at you, you're probably going
Right.
because that shortstop's being taken to his left to make the play.
Yeah.
So
Depending though, maybe he's holding, maybe he's behind.
yeah,
You don't know.
Yeah. All of
Right.
that has to be processed right here before the pitch.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so in practice, you set up situations, whether it be during BP or a controlled fungo situational type of drill.
Yeah.
But using the scoreboard is something we haven't ever done it enough. We started using it a
That's
little
a
bit
good
last
idea.
year. But
I've never
we're
used
going
the
to use it
scoreboard
every
either,
day
yeah.
this year for things like that to create the in-game
There's a feel
awareness.
when you're standing on third base and you look up at the scoreboard, or when you're in left field and you look at the scoreboard, that there's a feel to that.
Yeah.
That's an in-game feel.
You're at third base, and it's the 7th inning, and that scoreboard says 6-6 in the 7th inning with no outs, and you're at third base, and your coach says we got the contact play on right here.
Yeah.
You're just, as soon as you see the ball off the bat down, you're going. I don't care where it's at.
Yeah.
No hesitation. And and that's that you practice that because you're going to want them to do that in a game at some point.
Let me ask you this: we talk about feel a lot and simulating real time, game experience.
Feel.
Like just the.
I first thought you said Phil.
Feel as in dirt landfill. I probably did.
Phil Lightfoot.
Yeah.
You're-
I don't talk about.
you're
I
good, buddy.
only say good things about
That's
Phil.
right. Long-time official. Feel.
We practice after school.
Yeah.
This is something I've been thinking about.
Yeah.
We practice right after school. We practice 3 to 6. So the last third of our practice is actually a game time
Yeah.
practice, feel.
Yeah.
So because you don't play, your games start at 5 o'clock.
Right.
See what I'm saying? Do you
Right.
think there's any impact in that?
Oh,
Basketball. Think about a basketball.
I've actually
practice.
always practiced at game time. When I was coaching at Athens, our practice was between 4:30 and 5.
Do you do that intentionally?
We do it at night, and we do it at Eastern too. At Athens, I did it intentionally because of where the sun goes down.
Yeah. No, I mean, did you ever do it intentionally because we play at 5, we should practice at 5?
Yeah, because if you're in left field at Athens, the sun's going down right in your eyes.
Yeah.
And if we always practiced
yes.
right after school
Right.
at 2:30,
Yeah.
the sun was a lot higher than it is at game time.
So it's a different
and
look.
it's a different look
You're
for
playing
the
on a
left
different
fielder.
field.
And so we you are playing on a different field.
I'll be darned.
And so we
Yeah.
intentionally practice at the same time as we play a game because it looks the same.
Yeah. I thought about
I mean, it's a
mixing
small
some way to
thing, but
practice it.
I think it's important.
Well, I don't know. And then, like, from a football perspective, you think about football practice. They practice after school. They always
Yeah,
play
in the
on
heat of the day.
Saturday nights,
Yeah.
7 o'clock, or Friday nights, 7 o'clock, usually. In high
Yeah,
school.
your nutrition's different. Your everything is
Everything
Your,
is.
the cycle of your body is different.
Right.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
but I'm not advocating for football
It's one of the. I mean,
practice.
it's one of the reasons why I don't like game days when we don't have school.
I know.
Because it's a
I
different
know.
routine.
Yeah, I don't like it either.
Yeah.
You know, our basketball season opens the day after Thanksgiving.
Yeah, it used to just be a preview, but now it's an actual game, right? Remember the Shriners preview used to be
play
on
Miami
Friday
Trace.
after Thanksgiving.
We have Miami Trace at
It's a
Meigs.
real game.
Yeah.
Man.
Opening game. Right after Thanksgiving.
I was going to say I might come down for that, but I'm actually going to be probably in Buffalo. I say probably because if Brock and Allie hasn't had their baby yet, I will be here. Yeah.
So
So
when-
that's a maybe. That's a maybe trip for me.
What's the-
Buffalo, OU plays Buffalo that day. It's actually the last regular season
What's
game.
what's Allie's due date?
I believe it's the week before Thanksgiving.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, don't quote me on that, but I know it's before Thanksgiving. She's getting close. She's getting close. She's feeling it.
You know, so I had 3 Meigs Marauders with me last night at the volleyball game.
Supporting the Eagles.
Yeah. We have
Or their girlfriends.
They have interest there. And
Did Griffin go with you?
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And which Kinsley Well,
Oh yeah.
I guess I could say her name.
Well, yeah.
1,000 assists. 1,000 sets.
Is it a
She's
sophomore?
a sophomore.
Yeah.
She's going up to
Heck of a
2,000
player.
sets.
There's not a senior on that team, I don't think.
There isn't. The team's loaded.
Yeah.
They've got good freshmen.
I tell you what, Courtney's a good coach too.
Yeah.
She really does a good job.
Which I thought Southeastern's setup was we're just off on tangents.
I know.
Their volleyball net is suspended.
Yes,
Yeah, it's not on poles.
Yeah.
It just comes down, and then the judge is in a suspended. It just hooks onto the side of the net, and they're just suspended in there too.
There's
There's a ladder.
Okay,
There's a
yeah.
ladder, but it's off the ground.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so it's
So you
like
can get clean under there.
clean under. Yeah, it's I don't know. Those are the stupid things that a baseball
Yeah.
coach thinks about at a volleyball game. But what was I gonna say? I don't know what I was. Oh,
You took 3 Meigs Marauders with you.
these guys stand up. I said, "What?" They said, "We'll be back. We're gonna go talk to Coach Stewart."
Oh, Brock. That's right. He
The
coached
Eastern
them.
AD, yeah.
Yeah.
So the Meigs, 3 Meigs guys, going to go talk to
Yeah.
the Eastern AD. I think that's a testament to Brock and who
Yeah.
he is and the job that he does. So I thought that was interesting. So they left me, the guy that brought them and
Paid for their popcorn and all that.
and to go talk to Brock. But yeah, it's pretty.
He's got kids in his office all the time during the day. He's like, guys, I gotta get
good
stuff
stuff.
done. Yeah.
Yep. Good stuff.
Yeah, they like him. So yeah, that's one. There's one.
Did we get one? What else?
We did a baseball one.
tag up. Can we think of a different football, basketball?
A different sport.
Basketball.
All right.
Here's a good one. This is actually a good one. I just thought of this.
Yeah, go ahead. I was going to ask you something. I stopped myself.
It doesn't matter. I don't think. stepping over the line on an inbounds pass.
Oh,
That's a backbreaker.
that should never happen.
That should never happen.
It's a backbreaker. You're right.
But sometimes.
Knowing when you can move your feet on an inbounds pass and when you can't.
True. Of course, that's a communication thing too.
Coach thing. I mean,
Yeah.
right? You got to let them know.
But of all the basketball practices I've been in, maybe some coaches do this.
Ooh.
Of all the basketball practices I've been in, of all the ones I've led, of all the ones I've planned, not one minute
Is spent.
has been specifically designed for not stepping over the line.
Mechanics
in an
and the
inbound
fundamentals
practice.
for how to
Actually,
inbound the ball.
A lot of times.
Like you do inbound the ball in practice.
You do.
But you don't necessarily teach the inbounder.
You're not focused
how to
on
inbound
it.
the ball.
And sometimes
That's good.
you don't even critique them for doing it. Sometimes they just step over the line in a lazy effort
Yeah.
because you're trying to accomplish something else.
Yeah.
And those look like that's the perfect opportunity right there to say, whoa, stop. But and I know I've done that.
That's a small
because
detail that
it's
you
a
have
very
that
small detail.
you have to do. And there probably coaches that do teach
No,
that.
I'm sure there's
If
coaches
so,
that
let
do.
us know.
Yeah, and I was
comment.
just thinking back on
you
a
have
mistake
the
that I've
opportunity,
made.
folks, to comment underneath our podcast episodes. Let us know.
Yes,
Yeah.
please do. Right, for sure.
Yeah.
But that's one there that would make sense. Is like
That's a good one.
When it happens, everyone grits their teeth and they're angry and the coach is ticked off. Why would just don't step over the line.
Yeah.
How much have you practiced it?
That's a good one.
What's the emphasis you've had on practice? Yeah.
Yeah, I think back in the game of basketball I remember how devastating it was for that team and for that player at the time. I didn't find it devastating because I was rooting against them. But when Michigan, was it not Jalen Rose, but who was the
Chris Webber.
Is that Chris Webber? Yeah, didn't know how many
Fab.
timeouts they had. No timeouts left, and he's calling timeout without a timeout, and it stops the clock, so it's a technical.
Yes.
And yeah, at that time, I imagine if you go back and you roll the films of that and the broadcast of it, you probably would hear somebody say,
Should know that.
That should never happen.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's an awareness thing. It's a reminder thing. They just came out of a timeout already. It's something that in the heat of the moment, it was instinctual. And so how do you practice that?
Right.
Figure out ways to practice that.
Yeah,
That's
I mean,
for
it's
you
tough,
basketball coaches.
And it's like, well,
Throw
you
that
don't
out to
have,
you,
you don't have
let
time.
you guys figure
You don't have time to practice everything.
Right.
You get that.
Right.
It's hard.
Exactly.
But these things that.
But how do you include it? I guess maybe we should say.
Well, and that's why we're so big on unstructured free play.
Yeah.
Because that's, in that, maybe not that perfect, that scenario there, but, a lot of the things that we learn,
Yeah.
we learn just by doing it through repetition and by watching the game
Yeah.
and scrutinizing it. I messaged you the other night. I don't know how many times in the postseason this year I've watched a pitcher stand on the mound.
Oh yeah, not knowing where to go on backup.
Or just not doing it one
Yeah.
way or the other.
Yeah.
And I think the other day
I'll tell you something. Yeah, go ahead.
The other day when the Guardians were playing,
You're talking about a while ago.
Easy now.
Not the other day.
It was the other day. Our pitcher, I can't remember who it was, but our pitcher did back up a throw that ended up being errant, and he got it and prevented a runner from advancing a base. But go ahead. What were you going to say?
One of the things that I did to help practice that this year was a verbal, sort of a verbal, I don't know what you would call it, sort of like it was a controlled. I want everybody needs to be moving on every play.
Yes.
And so we gave the situation, innings, outs, score, and then we just shouted. And then how many runners on base? Like runner on first, line drive down the right field line.
Didn't even use the ball. Just did that.
Yeah,
I like
and
that.
just wanted to see, and pitcher on the mound especially, right? And if you hesitated, that's when we pointed out, like, listen, there can be some hesitation there because as a pitcher, that play may change. It's probably going to go to third, but if the guy bobbles it and now they're waving him on, now you kind of got to work your way down in the middle of that space, right? Because it might come home. So you got to be available for both those throw backups. But that I don't know what you would call that kind of a thing, but just like a verbal, like a controlled type of
You have them go the whole way,
situational drill.
then get to it.
Yeah. Go
complete
to where
set.
you should be, because if you go halfway, if you're like, well, just get the idea, go a few steps. Well, then what happens is they back up. How many times have you seen your pitcher backing up third base? Your third baseman's here and your pitcher's right here behind him, right? And the throw goes over both of their
That's a
heads.
good point. That's a good point.
Yeah,
Because
so
I've done that.
You actually take them over. I grabbed a kid and said, gently, I grabbed him gently. and
All right,
I
Bobby.
dragged him over and put his butt up against the fence at the dugout.
Might as well.
And said, this is where you need to be, as far as you could possibly be.
Why not?
Yeah.
There's no reason not to. Exactly. Because why would you take a risk of it getting by you too?
Yeah.
And then having to turn around and get it. That's good. That's good stuff. Yep.
But then there's another idea, back to baseball, was you mentioned unstructured free play.
Mm-hmm.
I think a very simple way to help kids learn these things is to do a coaches shut up scrimmage, right?
And have them be vocal and
Yeah.
control it.
Yeah.
But force them.
Like maybe you give the situation, and like it's situational, so you create the situations you want them to have.
So the goal is actually executing,
yeah.
not just.
But then, and you don't even say anything after the play. You just take notes.
yeah.
Like you got like a list of 10 situations. You take notes for each one,
Yep.
and then you don't say anything during, and then afterwards you go back through them again.
Yep.
I haven't ever done that, but it's something that I thought of.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm thinking about. I know, I would say traditionally baseball isn't a sport that coaches use a lot of film on in practices, but I've thought about doing that this year more too. I'm really going to amp
grades.
up my effort. Yeah, that's a good idea.
Use the film for grades.
Yeah, yep.
Each position.
But just to show, just here it is, because I know yours does too. GoPro
Yeah, wide
captures
angle.
the field, so it's like ball hit here. Where's that fielder going? Where's
Yeah.
what's happening? So
That's
something I think
good.
I'm going to incorporate into that.
Yeah, because if you put that film in the huddle and everybody has access to it, then you give your players, hey, between now and once you get in the season, it's gonna be hard to do every game. Maybe.
Yeah, it'd be hard.
But
Yeah.
like, hey, let's take this game, let's grade it.
And I
a
just
lot of
think
things happen in this game.
The visualization is important sometimes too, because seeing it is different than hearing it or being told after the fact.
Yeah.
If you can actually watch yourself stand out there when your hands.
I mean, listen, we know it's big in the game of football. It always has been. Film has been, but I'm fascinated when I go like on these trips with OU football, and sometimes on the return home in the bus. These buses are packed with all the GAs and the student assistants. Well, those guys are the ones that have the job of grading the players that they're responsible for, the units that they're responsible for. And on the way home from one of the recent games we went to, it was the Ball State game. Long bus ride home, even longer than it should have been. One of the tight ends student assistants was sitting beside me, and they had some tablet. They had their tablets with them, and he just went ahead and started going through and every play, just watching the tight ends and grading, writing down what they did, what they were supposed to do, didn't want to do.
Thank you, Pro Football Focus.
Yeah, exactly.
They started that.
Exactly. And then of course they go over those things with the players as well.
That's great.
There's
position.
value in it for every sport. Yeah. I can see there being great value in it for soccer. I just went to a soccer game. Don't know anything about it, but I was there. It was exciting because it was a district game.
Oh, really?
Athens at Warren. Went with April, accompanied her.
Who won?
Warren did,
Oh, did
but
they?
Athens was ahead the majority of the game.
Oh,
Warren
wow.
won in overtime.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
What's overtime?
What's
Is that just
frustrating
extra time
about
or-
soccer is you'll watch it for an hour and a half, and there may not be any scoring. That's the frustrating thing because I like scoring, but lost my train of thought.
Yeah, I would have too.
Ah, jeez.
They were ahead of the whole game, waiting an hour and a
Yeah,
half.
Athens played so well in the first half, and they scored before, like maybe 5 minutes before the first half. So they go into halftime with a 1-0 lead. And, basically they're saying, all we got to do is hold this lead and we win. Well, Warren was being pretty aggressive in the second half. Like the most of the game was being played down on Warren's side, up against the Athens goalie. And they had a lot of shots on the goal, a lot of shots, and Athens made some great plays. And then with maybe 5 minutes left in the game, this kid from about 30 yards out just hit a seed. I mean, he kicked a seed, and it went in the top corner of. I mean, the guy couldn't even reach it. I mean, it was a heck, and they scored and tied it up. Well, then it's exciting. Last 5 minutes, it's like at the end of a hockey game, right? And everybody's just all out, getting after it.
Yep.
Nobody scored. So, in the regular season in high school, game over, tie.
It's a tie.
Yeah.
So they don't go to free
I can't
kicks
tell you
or
the number of
anything like
times that April came home and said, "I just watched an hour and a half of soccer and it ended in a tie."
So what do? Add time to the clock?
They did for the tournament. They do 15 minutes.
And what if it's tied after that?
15 minutes, and they'll do it again. They'll do 2 15-minute halves. After that, it's penalty kicks.
Okay, that's what I was.
I think,
penalty kicks.
I think that's what they were going to.
Yeah.
See, I just wish it was straight penalty kicks.
Me too, because that's awesome.
I would think everybody would want that.
Yeah,
like that would be good for the game of soccer, right? To just do that.
Well, don't they do that inside? Like, isn't that how the World Cup and?
I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah, neither.
Yeah, but
we need to bring a soccer.
We do. But it was.
Justin coaches soccer at Alexander. Justin.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah.
But that overtime period was pretty exciting because it wasn't because it didn't last very long. Less than 30 seconds. It was like 27 seconds in. Warren scored. Game over. Season over.
Crazy.
Just like that. You play
up the whole game.
You play that long. Yeah.
That's tough.
But my point was, I heard a lot of things from the coaches and from the fans around that knew what they were talking about.
Yeah.
Like I would have loved to shout and cheer and everything, but I just kind of waited for everybody else to cheer, and I jumped in too, because I just literally don't know what's going on. But you could hear them talking about, getting the right angles and things like that. That I'm sure that film in that sport would be very, very valuable too.
There's a Simpsons episode that kind of makes fun of soccer. It does. The announcer's up in the booth and he's losing his mind, spit going everywhere, standing up screaming, and he's like, "Wing to center, center to wing to center, center," and it goes to the field. And like nobody's moving, and there's just like 3 guys kicking the ball back and forth to each other. And this announcer is going crazy, losing his mind.
He's getting really excited about it.
I've always thought that was funny, but I think that was The Simpsons. I remember seeing that. But no, I talked to we have quite a few soccer players at our church, and I think they told me that they only got 5.
Justin recruiting right there at church.
Well, he's got family members that make up his team, but told me that like one team only had. No, you know what? I'm wrong. That was my nephew Reed was telling me that. They're playing hockey. My nephew Reed plays hockey up here at Athens. They have a high school club hockey team.
Yeah.
And they play a team, and that team only got 3 shots on goal.
Dang.
And like I was like, my first thought was,
"Geez,
what a boring game." If you're only as a goalie,
really good defense.
And that was my second thought that was a pitcher's. Game. That's a pitcher's game. Like that's a game that I love in baseball. So immediately I was like,
or just a really terrible team.
Well, I mean, it was it didn't because I think they beat them 3-0. They played them twice.
Okay,
and they got 3 shots on goal once, 5 shots on goal the second game, and it was 3-0, 8-0.
Yeah.
So no, I mean, not horrible. They're not.
I mean, I don't know what's a normal like.
I think 3. I think 3.
How many shots is a lot?
Oh, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know.
That doesn't sound like a lot to me.
No. It's
like, what's considered a shot on goal when you make an attempt and then it gets like, does it have to get into a certain box or area to be considered a shot on goal?
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. Probably not. I mean, I would think if you're aiming at the goal and hitting the puck, I don't even know what is that, a slap shot? Yeah, it is a shot, isn't it? We should
Yeah.
know more about this.
I know
We're
we should.
pretending to be
Yeah,
sports.
We got to bring Ben Crane on to talk hockey.
That's right.
OU
We
hockey.
should. We
Yeah.
should bring Ben on.
Ben
to
is a
talk
podcast
hockey.
listener, by the way.
Yeah.
He's like, it doesn't. He said, I'm not interested in half the things you guys talk about, but I'm interested in you guys. that was his word. So I'm like,
That's
I love
awesome.
you for that.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Yeah.
Good deal. What else we got? How about drop third strike?
Oh,
What do you think of that? Is we had
man, it's hard to say they should know that because a lot of lower levels don't play by that rule.
Well, we had a
And
10U
how do you
team
practice that?
using the facilities at Meg's, and
Mm-hmm.
they're going to a tournament this weekend, and but it's 10U
This weekend,
this weekend. Yep. Drop third strike.
Halloween tournament.
I don't know what it is. It's a travel tournament or a club tournament, whatever. And their kids have never done drop third strike, so they spent a practice working on drop third strike. So that's a good idea.
Preparing for it.
Great idea. Not just from a defensive perspective, but also an offensive perspective.
Yeah,
You work on it both ways, because a lot of times offensively you'll see a batter strike out, and it's a drop third strike, and they either stand there or they're walking back to the dugout,
Yeah,
and a coach yells, "You should know that."
yeah.
Right?
Or you have a runner on first base, and the batter has a strike three. Catcher drops it, and the runner on first base takes off,
Very good. Yes.
And-
very good.
and you don't have to take off.
Yeah. And
So you may get
okay,
thrown
so
out
you're
at
repping
second.
that. Maybe if your catcher's been working on that situation in practice, right? Because a lot of times I've seen that happen, and catcher hold the ball.
Yeah, assuming that
Runner's
he's
out
allowed
first,
to go because
or he's not allowed.
or
He's got to go back.
Or, yeah.
Not to go
right.
back.
Yeah, it's
Run his own risk.
Exactly.
You throw him out. That's what you should do. Yeah, you don't see that often. A catcher, that mistake being made by a base runner, and the catcher capitalizing and throwing him out on second, because the catcher a lot of times is thinking about that hitter to get the
True.
hitter. You know what I mean? So, yeah, good stuff.
I mean, in the world of baseball, there's just a lot. I mean, cutoff and relay positioning, bunting fundamentals, just when to stay home, and when to if you don't, like, I don't know. I mean, we're not calling a bunt play for every hitter, so you just have to be ready for the bunt every hitter, and therefore you got to know. We have a normal bunt coverage circumstance, situations based on where the base runners are, and whether we call a bunt situation or not. That's the normal situation is what we're in, and so that those kinds of things, taking initiative and practicing those. That's all baseball. I don't know, football. I mean, getting proper splits when you're as a lineman when you're lining up every time. I mean, I'm trying to think of what might be relevant.
Not blocking
not
a guy
assuming
in the back.
that.
Well,
yeah,
away from
away
the
from the ball. There's no reason to. I mean, everybody wants to hit somebody, and you feel like if I'm out here, I got to do something, And sometimes that unnecessary, just get in his way, just run along beside him or in front of him or something, as opposed to.
Maya
blowing
got
him
called
up.
for a holding call last Friday night, and I didn't think it was a hold, and he didn't think it was a hold.
Did you yell at the ref?
Nah, they can't hear me. I'd have yelled at him if I
Your
thought
dad
they
did,
could.
I'll bet. He let him have it.
I don't think he did. I don't know. I said so. I said he had him out in front.
Yeah.
And then after Maya got to look at the film, he's like, it was a hold. But
Ref got it right.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He got it right. And but my point is, you practice blocking, and in that, in a drill, you practice blocking and not holding. But in that situation of that live play, do you practice holding? And
That
not
guy's
blocking?
trying a little harder to get away from you than maybe your drill guy partner did.
Right. And you're trying a little harder to keep him there. You feel a little bit more pressure because your buddy's got the ball behind you trying to make a good run, so things like that. It's because it was a stupid hold.
I mean, those are just drive breaking calls.
Yeah.
I mean, especially like on the line of scrimmage too, because a lot of times those guys, if they're pass protecting, they're backing up 3 and 4 yards, and they get a hold right there, and now it becomes a 14-yard penalty.
Yeah. Yep. Right. So, yeah, they should know stupid things are things that we can
Yeah.
correct as they happen to us. And
Well, I think from a philosophical standpoint here, I guess, as we talk to coaches through the podcast episode, the point probably is just don't make the assumption. Just catch yourself every time you want to say they should know that and take note of it.
Or write it
because
down,
sometimes you might be right. Yeah, they should like I've got an absent-minded kid that doesn't remember anything. Okay. Let's find out why he's struggling to remember things.
'Cause it's a
Maybe he's
model.
struggling to remember things in the classroom too.
Yes.
Let's go.
And
There
that's
might be. Just stop.
it's
As
your
a
job
coach,
to
it's
make it
your
work.
responsibility.
Yes.
It always comes back to us.
It is.
We're going to go Jocko on you.
You gotta
right?
figure out
It
a
is
way.
always my fault.
Yes.
Yeah. Don't
Yes.
coach if you can't handle that.
Yep, you
Just
got
don't do
it.
it.
You have to
Yeah.
own that. And
Yeah.
it's your job. It's never I can't do nothing about it.
Correct. The moment that you can't do anything about it,
Hit the road, dude. Have you seen that? Have you seen that?
I have.
Thank you. You're the only one I ask my kids
Really?
every day. Have you guys seen that? Hit the road.
Lock 'em up.
Yeah.
yeah. I don't know why I've seen that. It was like some dude was fishing on somebody's property, right?
Yes.
And it became this like viral video of like, is it a reel? Like an
I think
Instagram
the reason
reel?
it became viral is because when I think there was an the guy that was
It was an
fishing.
old man that came in
Well, it
in
was-
front of these kids. From
So
fishing.
it was a business that owned the pond, and the
Gotcha.
kids were fishing. The old
Yes.
man came up.
Tractor business.
Trey Taylor crew tractor, and that's how he said it too. But that's his dad.
Yes.
That was the guy's
Yeah,
dad. But
yeah.
I think there was an altercation, like a verbal altercation. Things got heated because I think the kid went into the store to talk and say, "Hey, I didn't know," and when the way that he was treated, he was upset.
Oh.
So then he started.
So then the company got
Yeah, and then
doxed
and
in
then
a
they
way.
were, and then now he's inviting people down to fish free at his pond and
he's turned
doing all
it
these
into a
promos.
positive.
He is trying to.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Why, you got to.
Well, yeah, you got to own it, right?
In this climate, and in the social media climate that we're in, you got to play the game.
Yeah, you can't ignore it.
And he's playing the game.
Yeah,
Wow.
that's what he's doing.
Good for
But
him.
my kids are like, "Oh, we don't know what you're talking." And of course, they
Really?
laugh at
Well, they
me,
have a
but-
different algorithm than you do.
Yeah, that's for sure. But they're like, "That's not even fun." I've showed them. I'm like, "Look at this, look at this." And I'm like,
But
I'm
it's
laughing.
a story, right? What makes it funny is you follow the story. Like if it's just one video that you watch,
Yeah, maybe.
but
I don't
but,
know.
but then there are probably other videos, and then there. Are
What's funny is to see people replay it, so other people have
like
done,
do the voiceover.
yes,
Yeah.
and they've pulled up and they've been dressed
Yeah.
up and stuff like that. Hit the road, dude. State. I've seen that
Yes,
a lot
that's right.
too. Like
Private property.
a sister will be in their other sister's room, and the text will be, "She borrowed my shirt without asking."
I thought that was state property.
Yeah, they do the
Yeah. I do. I know. Now it's all coming back now. Like he was like, I ain't never seen nothing like in my life. Like,
yeah.
Yeah.
State, I haven't heard that nothing like that in my life. What's your name? I'm gonna make it.
This is private property. With like 7 I's in the word private.
Oh, shoot.
Hey, speaking of that, yesterday in my class, my podcasting class, I was talking about puffery and advertising, and how it's a way of advertising that speaks an extravagant, exaggerated, hyperbolic language that can't be proven wrong, but it's subjective in nature. Red GMC trucks are cool. Well, that's one way of advertising a red GMC truck. But if you say owners of red GMC trucks are automatically the coolest people in the town, well, that's not true. But you can't prove it wrong either. But a lot of advertisement companies do that, right? So anyway, I said,
I guess you could prove it wrong, but it takes some legwork.
yeah. Well, I said, can you think of any any businesses or companies or products that have been sued for puffery? because it's hard. It's hard to sue for puffery. And my students gave me an example. Did you know this? Red Bull was sued by a young man because of their advertisement saying Red Bull gives you wings, right? It's a very common advertisement. Red Bull gives you wings. Well, that's the new advertisement, the wings. Because here's what happened. This dude proved he drank 20 Red Bulls in a week, and he's like, how many more do I got to drink to get wings? He sued him.
For how much?
I don't know, but it was a lot. Like one kid looked it up. I don't know. We should look it up. But and so here's what Red Bull did. This is brilliant. They didn't change their slogan. They just put like 7 I's in the word wings, and now it's wings, which that's not the same. Like it's not wings, because wings is WINGS. This is wings is something else. And so technically, by the letter of the law, can't prove that. What is wings? Isn't that wild?
Yeah.
The world of legislation that we're in. It's absurd.
I'm so disappointed.
It's absurd. Yeah, we just gave people some ideas.
Is there another place I could go to live out the remainder of my life?
Besides the United States of America.
I don't have to deal with this stuff. Oh, I'm sure it's worse in other countries. Like I feel like that's a fallacy of the world of Americans too. That we
assume that
this is the greatest country in the world. I mean,
100%. I agree.
Yeah. I know we have problems, but
regardless of how many problems we have, it's not as bad as.
Nah, I wouldn't go anywhere else.
Yep.
For sure.
Yep.
So.
Yeah. I'm just checking our time here.
We're about 50 minutes
51 minutes in.
Close her up. I think you capped it off. The discussion is really centered around the idea that as coaches we don't assume things. We have to create this list of these things that we know that our players should know and practice them.
Make a checklist,
because if they should know it, we should practice it.
Yeah. Yeah, you have to.
I was going to say running on the field.
Yeah.
Very simple.
Hustling, right?
Yeah, very simple.
Running out of ground ball.
You could. Yeah, that's a good point too. Running out of ground ball. How often do you practice that? Just because
This is what it feels like to go max effort.
Yeah, yeah.
It's great conditioning,
right? And to do that into a double, right?
Yeah, 60-yard dash.
Hit the ball. All right. It's not a 60-yard dash.
A 60-yard curve dash.
It's an arc. It's an arc.
Yeah, it is an arc. The point is,
I'm holding workouts with the baseball guys, and we've got a lot of younger guys in there too, and we do run the metric that we use to see if we're getting faster is a 60-yard dash.
Yeah,
just so you know.
Good for you. You come around. Coming around.
Because everyone else has to use it, so that's what we're going to use. But we don't run 60 yards to get faster. We normally run 30, 40 yards to get faster.
Yeah,
so
that's true.
Just short sprints. So,
yeah. I have a couple summary thoughts. So instead of assuming, make sure.
Yep.
I mean, that's pretty simple as a coach. Make sure they truly know it. One of the ways to help make sure somebody knows something is to ask them to not tell. Like we've talked about that before. Tell me what you're feeling, or tell me what this is. What you're thinking here. Ask them. Quiz them afterwards. About things like that.
You said earlier about coaches not saying anything.
Yeah,
and
silent.
It made me think.
Silent coach.
Yeah, I like that. And another thing, I like. I was talking to someone about this the other day. Allowing your kids to coach, working out with younger kids, at your summer camps and things like that, allowing them to coach some of these things.
Oh yeah.
Maybe even letting them, develop the itinerary on a day like that to let them coach what they want to coach. And it's different when you begin to coach it, when and you're thinking about the detail. It's easier to apply it. It's easier to do it for
it is
whatever reason.
It's
just a different feeling. I feel like
you proactively think about it. A lot of times as a player, we're always reactively thinking.
Right.
We're reacting to things, but as coaches, we it's proactive for us. And I think when you put our players in a proactive
I hope it is.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, and that's why we say, game day should be just us enjoying watching you play, because I've been proactive in getting us to this place. Now it's your turn.
Yeah.
And I think if we put our players in those situations to be proactive, to think proactively, and to it can just help, I think, to remedy this issue that we're talking about today.
Yep.
Yeah. And reward them when they do it
NIL.
right. Reward their awareness. Because if it's an awareness issue, figure out ways to praise, point it out.
That's a good coaching point.
You did this.
just don't
Hey,
pick out
I want to make
mistakes.
sure that everybody saw what he did well. Let's
Right.
pause practice right now. That was the right way to do it.
Yep.
If you do that to a player, I guarantee he's going to do it the same way every time.
Yeah. Yeah, that's good.
It feels good.
I thought you meant hand out NIL deals.
Oh man,
That's
that's a whole nother topic.
That next week's stuff.
Man, OHS. Did you see the email? They're voting on that.
Well, they have to.
They're talking about it right now and voting on it
They
immediately.
can't not. They're
Yeah.
going to lose. They're going to continue to lose money if they don't.
Yeah,
Because people are going to keep suing them.
man. Well, that's another episode. It's a conversation. Maybe we can get Nick Saban on the phone. Let him join us for that one. Have you noticed how busy it is outside?
It's odd because it wasn't earlier. It was just full, but there weren't students walking around.
I mean,
But
it's
see it now.
Wednesday.
They're all over the place.
It's block party. It's block
Bustling.
party
Yeah.
weekend.
It's also Dad's weekend.
It's on the same weekend as block party weekend.
You know what? Maybe it's not.
Wow.
Chastity asked me the other day if Jake was going to bring me to Dad's weekend.
For Halloween.
I don't. It's probably not. She was. I didn't. I don't know that for sure. I just
Yeah.
assumed it. It is.
I
It
wonder if
can't
that's
be.
next weekend.
It can't be. They wouldn't do that.
Yeah,
They wouldn't do
well,
that. Oh,
Yeah. Hey, we're going out of town. We're going to Eastern
yeah,
Michigan.
pretty. That could be a bad
It'd
situation.
be rough. Well, unless they're just trying, because right now the worst weekend is Mom's weekend, in terms of debauchery.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And maybe they're trying to say, hey, we got to up their game for the dads,
Oh boy.
or lower their game.
Get into it on that.
Exactly.
Thanks for joining us, everyone.